Hello everyone, this is Razorflamekun, and in this episode of the Diablo 2 Lord Destruction Let's Play, we are going to be going down into the Arcane Sanctuary that we found in the previous episode and going and exploring that. However, before we do that, we are going to go and visit our friendly Paladin supplier of goods. No, she's not really a paladin. Well, she says that she's been waiting for a paladin, but she's really the blacksmith of the area. And we're gonna sell all of the stuff that we don't need, and then we're gonna go and deposit the stuff that we still have. And oh my god, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory. And sorry for the yawning, but here's that bow that I got in one of the previous episodes that I'm really starting to like quite a lot. That I've actually been using a paladin to go ahead and range, even though he's not really good at range, but still I find it to be pretty entertaining to do so, and actually having it be pretty decent in terms of being able to take care of stuff. Anyways, the main attraction is the Arcane Sanctuary, which is yet another dungeon that we have to go through. This dungeon
surely is the product of a twisted mind.
Yes, it is. This dungeon is very long, very large, and it has several brand new enemies that you're gonna see. Ghoul lords, as well as that other enemy that you saw. You're gonna see a lot of traps like that, and that's actually the bandit. That's actually what the hell? Oh yeah, there's these guys that can do that, which I believe are the Ghoul lords. Yes, it is. And there's also Hell Clans, and this Hell Clan's actually a minion. And already we're starting to find minions. So this is going to turn out to be a very, very interesting dungeon already. There's a scythe, as well as 2 scrolls of town portal, and a bunch of healing items. You're going to find that you're going to see a lot of those guys just coming in from all over the place. Those wraith guys. So just be aware of that. Also be aware that these enemies are pretty strong for the level that I'd recommend you be at least level 21, 22, somewhere around there before you come into this area. Because this area is pretty hectic and pretty difficult if you're not at least that level. Of course, the boss at the end of this area is, of course, the summoner. Sure, I spoiled it, but it's kind of obvious in my opinion. There's also teleport pads all over the place, and holy crap, there's a lot of these. So yeah, you're gonna start finding that you're gonna start to see a lot of enemies and a lot of trapped chests and stuff in this area as well. Don't be surprised if you have to go back to town very often in this dungeon, because I found myself having to do that quite a lot in this dungeon as well. We go up here, and then we go down here. Again, this is going to be a pretty lengthy, probably going to have to split this episode up into 2 different episodes due to the size of this dungeon, because I want to cover the entire dungeon, but that might take quite a lot in terms of stuff that we have to do and stuff like that. But I'm actually going to go back to town even though I don't really need to, and were both of those ethereal? Oh god, that sucks. Both of those items were ethereal, which means they're going to sell for quite a bit less in the shop. Yeah, only 73 and 141. Not even worth it. But that was worth it. So we definitely got some items that were worth it in terms of selling. And this is just a stop along the way, and I also need to deposit a skull. We're gonna head back out, just head right back out, and we are gonna go back to the Arcane Sanctuary and continue the exploration of this dungeon. Again, you're gonna find a lot of enemies in this dungeon, so you better be prepared with lots of healing potions and mana potions if you're not a paladin or barbarian. Barbarians and paladins should have a lot of health potions. Sorceresses, and some of the other ones should have mana potions, because that's what they use the most. And here we are, we're back at the beginning of this little area, which is fine. Does that kind of feel like going back to this area anyways. And as you can see, there's 4 different directions you can go, which makes going through this area that much more difficult. Sometimes these little pedestals here will have orbs in them, which will actually attack you, so you want to watch out for that as well. Pretty much this place could be a pain to explore, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to be surprised if I can't explore this entire dungeon 100%, because of just how freaking big this dungeon is. But I'm pretty sure that we can get at least a good percentage of this dungeon explored. Again, most of the guys that you're gonna find in here are the Ghoul Lords, the Hell Clans, and I think they're wraiths in this version. Specters. Those are gonna be the main enemies that you see in this dungeon for the most part. Or this, technically, this is more like a passage, but it's not really, doesn't really seem like a passage yet, but it will once we get through this area. Short spear, that's another throwing weapon. Gonna go ahead and use one of the potions that I have by clicking the hot tab, and we're just gonna continue exploring this area until we come in contact with the person that we're supposed to be finding, which is the sorcerer. Not sorcerer, the summoner. And holy crap, that is a summoner. Nope, never mind. That is one of the spiders that I was telling you guys about. As you can see, they will start to shoot lightning at you, which is not a very good thing. I'm actually going to switch to Holy Cold now. Come on. And we're also going to do stuff like that to heal. And as you can see, this area, I still haven't explored very much of this area, and I still have more of this area to explore. So that just goes to show exactly how big this area is. And this area is actually pretty good for leveling up, in my opinion, or for training, because you have a lot of enemies in a very small area that you can deal with. And there's a new item that we haven't seen yet. It's a Paladin only item, and yeah, it's not as good as I thought it would be. But yeah, as a Paladin only item, it can only be expected that it wouldn't be that good, or as good as I thought it would be. But I'm going to keep it and see if it sells for anything. But as you can see, we're actually back to this point. Now I'm actually going to run all the way back down to right by where that shrine is, and that's going to take a while. So I'm going to see you down there. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Just wanted to cut a little bit of time off of this episode by just cutting out that little part, traveling part in between two areas on the mini-map. I mean, it's pretty obvious how I got from there to here. So there's not much that I have to explain. And one thing I do need to do is head back to town because I'm full. One thing I am going to do though is, I do have, is to switch out any light healing potions I have with the the healing potions because they're better. I'm gonna go ahead and repair equipment, and that, yeah, I kind of figured that would sell for quite a lot. That sells for 311 though. That's pretty nice. This sells for 3,444, 600. So as you can see, once you get about to this point in the game, you start racking up a lot of good stuff pretty quickly. And let's see. So I didn't get screwed too badly on that item, but could have gotten a lot more for that. And as you can see, our money is slowly starting to grow back to what it was. And I still love the Tall Rune and how freakishly good it is in terms of adding poison damage. I mean, I've actually been thinking about switching out this longsword with a different longsword for a while now, because I've been using this for quite a while, and even though it has some good stats, I'm thinking it's time to use a different weapon now. And though that only has a normal attack speed, this has fast, but none of them are socketed. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for a socketed longsword to appear in the shop. In the meantime, don't need any of those. Actually, let's go and see what Elzix has. Let's see what level am I? 22. So Elzix won't have any new equipment yet in the gamble option, but he should start having new equipment in the gamble option fairly soon. Actually, military picks are pretty decent weapons, but I'm just gonna see if there's anything worthwhile in this shop. Tower shields would be good. Okay, let's just, oh wow, okay, so that turned out to be a rare. I'm just gonna sell it back for 8,900 to get some of my money back because it wasn't better than the one that I currently am wearing. In terms of defense, it's actually quite a bit worse in terms of defense, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it back to get some of the money back. I like gambling some of the time because you can get some really good items doing this. Great helm, 16,000. Oh my god. Yeah, the armor equipment starts to just get ridiculously high priced. Later, late about this point in time, they just start to get 18,000, 24,000. My God! As you can see, imagine how much the plate mill is now. I mean, seriously, you have to imagine how much the plate mill is. I mean, 16,000, 10,000. Yeah, it's about this point in time that you just start getting good equipment that you don't really need to gamble for any longer. So just a little word there in terms of that. I'm actually going to start saving money now because the more money that I have saved up, the easier it'll be for me to start getting more items in terms of gambling later on down the road. And normal items, but as you can see, we're still exploring this this side of the dungeon, and we still haven't found the summoner. So that just goes to show exactly how big of a dungeon this is. Actually, I think this is not. No, usually you can tell where the summoner is because he has a pathway kind of like that leads up. But it doesn't look exactly like that. Once I find where the summoner is, I'll be able to show you exactly what I mean. Nope, it's just some more lightning bolts, which are actually dealing quite a lot of damage to me. Holy crap! Those things deal a lot of damage. And here is definitely something that you really want to look out for when you're exploring this area, because as you're exploring, you'll find these areas on the very outskirts of the area. You'll find a whole lot of magic slash rare slash other stuff in these items, or in these chests. This is pretty rare chance of happening, but it's really worth mentioning because of the fact that you can get some pretty good items this way. And actually, I'm going to head back to town already because of all of the good items that we got. But you want to look out for those because you can definitely get some items there for selling. 150 there, 150. This is going to sell for 250, 2,500, and then a bunch of other stuff. So I just got 5,600 gold right there. Oh, I do need to check and see if this is socketed. No, it's not. Nope, that's not socketed either. Nope, none of them are socketed. Crap. Oh, well. And we're just gonna deposit the money and head straight back in. Let's see how much more. Wow, my guy is my guy is almost over 100, or what is over 1 million experience, and I'm almost over 1 million experience. In fact, I still need another 129,000 experience until I get to level 23. So yeah, we're getting there in terms of stuff like that. And here's a bunch of specters who drain your mana. If so, just be a little careful when dealing with them because they do drain your mana. So, especially if you are a sorceress, you don't want them draining all of your mana on you. Right here, I've fully explored this area of this side of the dungeon now, so I can be rest assured that the summoner is not down this way. So he's either to the left or above. Or to the right. I forgot about the right. So as you can see, just one path took all that time. And speaking of time, I am going to end the episode here. So until next time, this has been Razorflamekun, and may all of your days shine brightly.